guys, Jayydan here again with TYC. And over the break, we had something terrible happen, and we lost a great person, and that shook the entire community. I'm talking about Leelah. So this week's topic is actually about how she shook the entire community. But before I get into that, I want you to know that to anybody who watches this that needs maybe some help or it's out there. The Trans Lifeline is a great place if you ever need help. Don't be afraid to call. Um, your life is not worth giving up. I promise. Believe me, sometimes things may look grim, but it'll get better. It's hard, but it will get better. Don't give up. Life is beautiful and full of wonderful things that you couldn't see if you weren't here. I will leave the numbers down in the description for you guys for whenever, if you need them or something, don't be afraid to write them down just so you can have them whenever. Now that we are talking about all this kind of stuff, suicide is not easy for me actually, and I don't take it lightly. Personally, I know somebody who has tried suicide, um, and it's not an easy thing to go through or even live with. I'm sure if Leelah would could have held on a little bit longer, she could have seen a lot more light in life. Depression has its own way of creeping inside and kind of making things a lot worse than they really are. It's kind of a scary disease. It engulfs your whole world and kind of just pulls you down into the darkness. Um, but honestly, if nothing's done about it, then it'll just stay there and keep getting worse and worse. Now, with Leelah's case, though, things were not looking in the best direction for her. And from what I've read, she was only going to see biased therapists, and for which a trans child, it just makes transition near impossible. And not only that, but her parents did not want her to transition either. It's kind of a sad thing to hear that as far as our society has come in such a long or a short period of time, I guess, in the scope of things, that we still have so many closed-minded people in just the world today. Um, and it's scary that children aren't getting the help that they need and they'll kill themselves for it. It's sad. It's really sad. A young girl who was already depressed wasn't given the treatment for her depression. She was told to do things she didn't like, and she was secluded from everything. Add those things up, and it really just makes for a sad tale. Now, I remember when I was 16, all I had was MSN, school, emails, and a home phone. But back then, it felt like the whole world to me. I could interact with all my friends over multiple platforms. It was great. But when I got grounded, my whole world just kind of caved in, and it felt like, it was really lonely. But I at least had school at the time, so I could see my friends at school, and I had that social interaction, which I believe the school social interaction is a big part of things in today's society. I honestly think that if we didn't have a school and the social interaction the school brings, it would make life a little bit worse. It just makes you kind of secluded by yourself and lonely, and you don't get that little bit of out of the house interaction that I think everybody needs every once in a while, at least. Um, School, it is there for learning, but it's also a social thing for people, like I've already said. Sometimes it does suck, though. I know with bullies and people who aren't that open-minded, people can be rude or mean. But honestly, there isn't all these people who are always mean. There are people who are nice, and those are the kind of people that you guys need to look for. And I guess really what I'm saying is that Leelah's parents taking her out of school just made her depression worse because she missed out on social interaction with people, and she might have actually found some friends that actually cared in her suicide note, she said that her friends didn't care about her. But I'm sure if she would have been able to go to school, she might have actually found some people who did care. But instead, she was ripped away from school and social media and her phone, so she was kind of ripped out of her world into loneliness, just kind of leaving her to muster in her own depression and only get worse and worse. And as unfortunate as her death is, she did leave a mark with, the words that she left on her note. She wished for a better future to where no one would ever get treated as she was. And she also wanted for someone to fix society. And we as a community need to do these things. We need to fix this society because society isn't the best, but we can fix it. We can, I believe that we can fix it. It'll take time, but it's something that we can do. I hope that someday society is fixed and we won't have to worry about things like this or to lose a life to something like this. I don't know Leelah personally, but I wish I did. I would have been her friend, and I would have tried to help her out with her situation. I've been there. I know people who have been there, and it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to escape, but it can be conquered. With some hope and some people who actually care, it can be. So guys, don't lose hope. Don't forget that there is always somebody who will help, like the trans helpline. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to comment what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys think. So don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks. Bye. And just said, oh, I don't really have any New Year's resolutions, so hopefully this will help with making this